So we talked about stupid exercises.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
Two, yeah.
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 And it's nearly New Year's Eve. I feel like
A couple of days to go for 2016, yeah.
I think it's a great time to talk about stupid strategies. Because there's a hell of a lot of people starting out with stupid strategies, and I think it shines a light on what you should do by talking about what you should. I don't normally like to be negative, but I feel like maybe this is the time to
finish the year bitter. Before we go into the actual strategy, I think stupid strategy 1 is trying to make a New Year's resolution. There's a complete flip of what you've done the year before. So you've gone from eating McDonald's and KFC and sugar 5 days a week to going, I'm never eating that again. I think that's dangerous, unwinnable territory.
Yeah, I agree.
But let's go a little deeper than that.
Okay, so I think stupid strategy number 1, I think the worst thing you can, it's a mistake almost everyone makes, is that they book in this intermittent exercise routine. They say, oh, well, I don't really want to, I don't want to go too intense, so I'm just going to exercise 3 times a week. And I think that is so much harder than exercising 7 times a week.
Yeah, tell me more, Darren.
So I think what you do when you're exercising 3 times a week is you make it a discretionary, optional thing. Like if you only brush your teeth sometimes.
Like every time you have to exercise, it's a choice.
Yeah.
So there's a decision that has to be made.
And there's an opportunity for failure.
An opportunity to bail out,
exactly.
to quit.
Not do it. And then also what it means is if you end up only doing 2 sessions for that week, it's like, oh well, I was meant to do 3, but I missed 1, so I just still did 2. Well, 2 out of 7.
Terrible. You failed. Not good enough.
Like, it's not going to change your body, and then you'll give up and you go, oh, it's so hard. Well,
this exercise thing is ridiculous. I'll never get
it. So intensely exercising 3 times a week.
That's good. It's like,
but I just don't think.
But as a strategy,
I don't think it's the way. I think the way is exercising mediocrely at the start. Not a word, I know.
Don't hate.
Is exercising gently but consistently, and building it as a ritual and a habit and just an automatic thing.
You're better off to do 7 pretty average workouts that you do, and you tick off 6 to 7 of them every single week, as opposed to doing 3 and falling back to 2 more often than not.
Do 15 minutes every day.
Yep.
Like, if normally you got up at 7, get up at 6:45, not an earth-shattering change, and do 15 minutes of a thing. Now, from a physiological standpoint, there's also arguments that say that, well, the fat is not going to be oxidized in the mitochondria until the 20 minute mark.
And because you're not working intensely, you're not going to be stimulating type 2 muscle fibers, you're going to be burning out glycogen. But the point is we're humans, and we've got to get through the human brain.
It's not physiological, it's habitual.
Yeah, it's habits, psychological, and routine.
And then you can build it from there. So I would say the number 1 mistake people make is the intermittent.
I'll lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's all I'll do. No, you're better off doing a quarter of that lift, going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the way through.
Do a bit. So that'd be the number 1 thing.
Number 1.
Don't be intermittent. Be consistent.
Can I go with number 2?
Yeah.
People try and out-train a diet, and they don't consider what happens in the kitchen. And so they think that they can have this sedentary life with poor dietary choices, and then I'm just writing it down so we don't double up.
Yeah.
And then they try to, if I just train really intensely 3 or 4 times a week, I can cancel out all that sitting, all that TV time, and all those potato chips and chocolate and bad eating. It's a holistic thing. It's all got to happen together. So you can't just out-train what was bad, or you can't just, I worked out, so therefore I earned all the burgers this week. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. You can't out-train a bad diet. You can mitigate it, like if you're training consistently.
I've done a very good job of this. Yeah. I've done a very good job this last 6 months of balancing out my poor choices. And I was disappointed when our body fat composition came around and they hadn't changed. And I looked back and was like, yeah, well, every single weekend you managed to have at least 2 very, very lazy meals where you let yourself sort of, not go, but let yourself splurge out. And you maybe once a week, once a fortnight you can do that, but twice every weekend, and I was pretty solidly consistent on that.
I think what muddies the waters with you though has been your vegan thing as well. You should, Jacob is eating.
So this hasn't actually been, I haven't made this public because I didn't want to be one of those people that tells everyone I'm a vegetarian and then not be a vegetarian. So 2017, we're very close, will probably be very close to a meat-free year for me. I've sort of just been reading up on it and thinking about it, and I've been over the last few months transitioning to a more vegetarian and vegan eating pattern, and I'm probably going to stick with it. It's good for the environment and the animals and your health. And I'm going to leave it there. That's all we're going to talk about. But go on.
It may not be as good for your rippedness though. I think it's
Yeah.
hard. I think if we inputted the and if we inputted the same amount of exercise you've done and a more carnivorous diet,
More killing the baby sheep diet, yeah.
I think probably you would have got more rippedness.
Probably.
Yeah, because you've got to get so many calories. You can't eat sort of as clean.
Yeah, so there's a lot of my meals have to be made to get the same volume of food to fill the tummy. You have to eat a little more rice and a little more bread. And, So there's that, but I still feel good about it. And I will change it.
I admire you and I respect you.
But you're not going to do anything.
And I think I admire you, I respect you, and I think the choice you're making is morally, ethically, and environmentally the right choice.
Moving on. Number 3, let's
I
go.
just really like steak.
You can't have a train bad diet, and vegan's probably not the answer if you want to have like 8% body fat and abs on abs on abs.
Oh, and you can do
Or
it.
I'll try and prove you wrong really hard.
Luke Gurkey,
Yeah,
he's got really ripped.
he's jacked as,
But
yeah.
he works pretty hard at that.
He's in the gym hours, and I don't have time for those hours. So
Strategies for failure: be intermittent, attempt to out-train a bad diet.
continue eating terribly, and yeah. So New Year's resolutions or stuff. People go, "I'll just exercise." Adding something onto a dysfunctional habit and routine is not a good idea. You need to change the underpinning habits and routines first, which is consistently moving every day, breaking a sweat or trying to every single day, and then eating a little healthier. Just start with a little healthier and let it build from there. Number 3, Darryl.
I think it's having a fixed mentality. Back a long time ago when I was training civilians, when I first started working, you would have these people, and I would explain to them that you burn like 300% more fat first thing in the morning. It's vastly
Fasted
more
cardio,
effective.
fasted training is better.
It's
Yeah.
so much better. You don't have time for headaches, meetings, family engagements. There's a myriad of reasons why mornings are infinitely superior to evenings for exercise. And people would break down into a few categories. One category would be they'd go, awesome, I love mornings, cool. Let's map
Sign
it
me
out.
up. Yep.
Yeah, that was very easy. And there would be other people like, oh, I'm not really a morning person, but if you're telling me it's that much better, I guess I'll just give it a crack. And those people would get really good results. And there was another category of, I'm not a morning person, I can't do it. Can't we just do it at night? And it's like, I've just told you the principle here, and you've insisted that you want the principle to fit around your desires and wants. And it's a fixed mindset where you're fixed and the world has to bend
And rotate to
and
shift around you.
Yeah. So I think having a fixed mindset of, and then wondering why you're not getting a result, I think that's a really great strategy for getting absolutely nowhere. You've got to look at the physiology, the psychology, and actually you've got to know what the territory is like. You've got to bend to the territory a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how well I'm
You got to make if you do genuinely want to make a change and improve in this area, you have to make some sacrifices and some changes. That's just a bit of the price of entry.
Yeah.
Like it's not all sunshine, rain, roads, and really heavy core lifts and awesome chin ups and lots of running. It's a bit of hard work and a bit of like not. There's this big perception that I hate in the world. It's like every workout is just high fives and protein shakes and awesomeness. It's like no, most workouts you don't want to do it. You'd much prefer to just.
I don't know about most, but a significant proportion where you. But if you
I reckon 50%.
If you
of workouts, it's like you have to actually will yourself to get to the bike.
Except when you've made it a daily habit and you feel like if I don't exercise, I feel a little grumpy and anxious.
Oh, definitely now. But
Yeah.
getting started,
So
getting started that first couple of months, you'll fight yourself more than you'll just jump out into the gym. So be aware of that and be ready
But
to.
if you've gone with strategy, or if you've gone against bad strategy one, if you're not intermittent,
if you're consistent, yeah.
you make that much easier. Yeah.
Number 4, trying to cardio and just do hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of work. I think that's just crazy because you need cardiovascular fitness, especially for the general population. For athletes, I'd say
should
no.
4 be trying to get all your benefit from one modality? Is that
You want to go that broad?
what it is, or should it be?
That could probably be number 5. I was just going to say like
Because people talk about the cardio.
Because people like to just jump straight into the cardio and just it's easy, it's comfortable. I'll just walk lots or just go on the bike lots. But the problem is that takes a long time to get results and it's very time inefficient. And so it's almost like lazy man's exercise because you're not really pushing hard. You don't have to worry too much about sets and reps and exercises or worry about intervals and up and down. The best exercise that gets the best result and the quickest results are the ones that make you the most uncomfortable. The more uncomfortable you can be, the better the results are going to be quite often. Yeah.
if you can do it consistently.
If you can do it consistently.
So and so with each of these things, I'm thinking with for bad strategy to be intermittent, I'm thinking of the opposite of being consistent. Out-train a bad diet is eat well, fixed mentality, have a flexible mentality that's focused around.
You want to adapt, yeah.
And cardio only, the opposite of that is going to be actually have a bit of everything.
A balanced training diet, yeah.
Yeah. So have a bit of strength work, a bit of flexibility, a bit of cardio.
And so it's the same the other way. People try and just strength train their way there. It's like, no, you probably need a little bit of running, you probably need a little bit of intervals, you need a little bit of flexibility working there, some body maintenance stuff as well. You can't just do can't just do only one form of training and hope that's going to get the result.
I got another one.
Go.
People have the strategy that sleep is like an optional extra.
Yeah.
Like I would choose to have less sleep, or I just can't get more sleep. It's like, well, that's fine. Don't have as much sleep, but your body will be in a stressed state, and in that state of stress, it will elevate cortisol, block fat burning,
choose to store more fat, and
Yeah.
hurt muscle building as well.
Yeah, so there are baseline levels of requirement sleep, just like a vitamin. Like there are baseline levels of certain vitamins. If you don't have enough zinc, like I guess you'll be sick. Like if you don't have enough sleep, yeah,
You'll be sick.
yeah. So it's treating sleep as negotiable,
Yeah.
and sleep's actually a requirement. It doesn't have to be like 9 hours. Like for me, it's 7.5. If I get 7.5, I'm good to go. That's great for me at my age.
And I'm about 8 to 15.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, 11 till 7.
Mm.
Cool. Any others?
Yeah, I think it's a stress thing. It ties back into the fixed mentality. People go, oh, well, I'm just a stressed person. I have lots of coffee and I'm stressed. It's like, yeah, but that's you're fighting your own physiology. Because a lot of these things come back to fighting your own psychology or physiology. You're setting yourself up to lose the game at the start.
Yeah, you instead of leaning into the wind, you're trying to fight it, trying to wrestle against it. It's like, no, it's gonna lean that way. Just go with it. Just roll that way. It's fine.
So with the stress thing, what I think is really important is to understand that it has the same impact as lack of sleep. You strategically, if you're ignoring stress as a factor in your success, then you're setting yourself to lose. Like it's got to be, right, well, I need to do some stuff to control my stress levels. And there'll be some people who've got stress levels that are really high in your career. Like if you're an emergency room doctor,
It's your thing.
it's actually life or death at your work. Like that's fine. But you should meditate a little bit, or you should exercise a little bit, or you should do something. So 5 things that most people will do wrong. They will be intermittent. They will attempt to out-train a bad diet. They'll have a fixed mentality and not do morning exercise. They will be cardio only, or stretching only, or
one modality only.
they'll treat sleep as negotiable, and they'll be stressed. And I like 7s. I think 7 is...
Well, we kind of had 7 when I talked about the 180. Let's go 7A.
Okay. So to round it out, a small proportion of people, maybe 10%, 20% of people, my thing is always, if you just took the energy you spent on whinging about the results you didn't get, and you invested that energy
Into more work.
into getting the results, into being flexible and strategic, you'd get amazing results. Like it's just a reinvestment of energy into actually getting it done. Feels a bit preachy, like.
Yeah, it wasn't at best again. Next year we're gonna come back bigger and better.
It's all right.
That was okay. Hope that helps.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Have a lovely time. What I'm hoping out of that, though, is that it jars a few people. Like they actually recognise in themselves that they're doing that. And so even if only 20 people see it and go, oh, I do that, then maybe that is a little bit of a Kickstarter catalyst.
Makes them a little more self-aware about it.
Yeah, maybe.